JBN, we keep you informed. One suspect in JN Money Shop robbery now in police custody. The police are reporting that one of the suspected robbers in yesterday's money heist at JN Money Shop in White House, Westmoreland, has been taken into custody. The police said the man was held with a 9mm pistol today in the parish. He has not yet been identified. During yesterday's robbery, which occurred at 11:40 a.m., gunmen stole $3.2 million and escaped in a stolen taxi cab. A security guard was injured in the incident and his weapon stolen, the police said. No one else was injured. Walkerswood St. Ann residents protest police arrest after mob killing. Residents of Walkerswood in St. Ann blocked the main road linking Monique and Ochirais on Tuesday, protesting the arrest of a community member in connection with a mob killing in June. It is reported that sometime in June, gunmen shot and killed a resident of the community known as Omar. Several residents cornered one of the gunmen, who was beaten to death, and a firearm recovered, which was handed over to the police. The police later obtained a video of the mob attack and, based on the contents, swooped down on a resident in the community last week Thursday and took him in for questioning. Residents took issue with the police's action and on Tuesday blocked the main road leading through the community. Devon Reynolds, a resident of Walkerswood, said that residents were upset that the police appeared to have targeted one individual when it was a mob killing. It was the whole community that carried out the mobbing, so it seems somebody was there videotaping and they only picked out an individual out of it. We even turned over the gun from the same time. That's why it hurt so much, because they came and commend us on what we're doing. Then to come and pick out an individual, it hurt us so much. If they had come and picked up like 10 or 15 persons, we would feel much better. But just to come and pick out an individual, it doesn't match up, he added. Approximately 100 persons took part in the demonstration. The police would intervene clearing the roadblock. Deputy Superintendent of Police Ryan Gale, who was on the scene, stated that a mob killing is an offense and the police have to act once they have evidence. Evidence came to the police of persons involved in the killing. The man arrested was one of the persons who were involved in it. We cannot have that knowledge and do not act on it, Gale said. He said the rule of law must be upheld. They are saying they helped the police by getting rid of this threat in the community. They even recovered a gun, so we should turn a blind eye to it. But the law does not work that way. We have a moral responsibility to ensure that everyone is treated fairly under the law. Even the criminal has rights. That was explained to the community members, and they basically have cleared the roadblock, said Gale. Alleged shopbreaker and shooter in Portmore tracked to KPH. A St. Andrew man is now facing illegal possession of firearm and ammunition and other charges following a confrontation with the police in Portmore St. Catherine earlier this month. The accused is 31-year-old Angela Morrison of Arnett Gardens, St. Andrew. Reports from the Portmore police are that about 3:15 a.m., a number of men were seen attempting to break into a wholesale. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, they were allegedly met with gunfire, to which the law enforcers returned the fire and the assailants fled the scene. But the matter was not over at that point, as further investigations led officers to the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, where Morrison was seen with gunshot wounds. Following further investigations, on Friday, July 24, he was charged with shooting with intent, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition, along with shopbreaking and larceny following an identification parade. Morrison is to appear in the St. Catherine Parish Court to answer to the charges on Friday, July 31. Sagicor staff member mourns Karen Nugent. A news report on the weekend suggests that 39-year-old Karen Nugent was the victim of an early morning fire, which investigators suggest was the work of arsonists. However, it has since emerged that the young woman, an employee of Sagicor Life Insurance Company, was found with hands and feet bound and may have been sexually assaulted by her killer, who later set her body on fire to her home in Bridgeport, Portmore, St. Catherine. She was actually a soft, caring, and considerate person, said one of Nugent's co-workers who asked not to be named. I've never seen Karen have a mood switch, no matter the conditions. I've never seen her angry, speak loudly, or speak out of turn, the co-worker added. She said that when she received the news of Nugent's death on Sunday morning, her knees got weak. My headspace just went. I did nothing for the rest of the day, she said. It was reported that about 3 a.m. Sunday, residents saw smoke coming from Nugent's house. She was later found dead in her bedroom. A source said she was last seen watering her lawn Saturday evening, and there was speculation that her attackers may have slipped inside her house, found a hiding place, and carried out the crime when she retired to bed. Play bodyguard, CMU student paid as close protection officer for Royal Reed. A Marine student from the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, was among those assigned to provide close protection services for then Education Minister Royal Reed, even though the student had no special training in security. The CMU student, normally dressed in full white and opening doors for the now-resigned minister, as well as saluting him, among other rituals, was recruited to offer support to the minister under a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the Education Ministry and the university. Close protection officers were paid from a low of $30,000 to a high of $330,000 for their services. The Director of School Safety was also paid several installments for security services, airfare, and the payments for traveling, a special audit had revealed. Dr. Grace McLean, acting permanent secretary on Tuesday, walked back information she initially provided to the Auditor General that the former permanent secretary, Dean Roy Bernard, approved payments for close protection officers and logistics support to Reed. As it relates to the close protection officer, I indicated to the Auditor General that these arrangements would usually be approved by the permanent secretary. When I mentioned that statement, I genuinely meant that that is so, and I knew that the documentation was somewhere to be provided. I am now learning that the arrangement was not approved, said McLean. However, she told the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament that she had an MOU dated January 10, 2018, which asked for support to the CMU for security and logistics services, which was approved by the PS on January 11, 2018. His note to me was, kindly develop MOU, which would reflect these arrangements, McLean said. I have the MOU signed by the PS and Fritz Pinnock authorizing the support for the security and logistics services. McLean said that she utilized these documents to make the necessary arrangements, so would not have acted without approval from the permanent secretary as it relates to any arrangements. However, Bernard countered by saying that the arrangements that were put in place for additional security services to be provided by the CMU did not have his approval. He described as strange security arrangements for a cabinet minister being dealt with by an educational institution. This is a very odd situation, PAC Chairman Mark Golding interjected. I could not have approved any such arrangement, insisted Bernard. Having served in a senior position in the Jamaica Constabulary Force for 12 years, Bernard said that close protection services were provided by the force and were specially trained for that task. Bernard said he had a discussion with an officer assigned to the ministry, but the arrangement was for a meeting to be held with the head of the CPS branch to indicate that a permanent secretary would have put his stamp of approval on this. Really downgrades my status in the public service, he said. Peter Bunting, committee member and former Minister of National Security, described the arrangement between the CMU and the minister as very peculiar. Off-duty officers also provided close protection services for Reed on weekends. Bunting said that this particular arrangement with off-duty officers for weekend assignments might be in breach of the JCF's policies. He said this should be reported to the Police Service Commission. In her special audit of the CMU, Monroe Ellis reported that the university made payments totaling $2 million for close protection services. The university's records did not indicate the basis for these payments. The Auditor General was later advised that the payments were for the provision of services to Reed on weekends. Ballistics test links sling gangsters' gun to double murder. Police investigators are now satisfied that they have identified one of two men involved in the fatal shooting of 12-year-old Cavell Drackett and a 33-year-old Rajay Allen in Palmer's Cross, Clarendon in May 2019. Investigators say ballistics tests have confirmed that a gun taken from slain alleged gangster Nicholas Johnson, otherwise called Boom's Eye or Bugsy Eye, was the murder weapon, while an eyewitness has identified him as one of the shooters. According to the initial reports, the young girl and Allen were at home in Palmer's Cross when residents heard loud explosions and summoned the police. It was later discovered that two men had kicked off the door to the house and entered before opening fire on Drackett and Allen, hitting them all over their bodies. They were both taken to the Maple Hospital, where Allen was pronounced dead and Drackett was treated, but later died as a result of the injuries. The scene was processed by the police, and 9 9mm spent casings, 5 expended bullet fragments, and blood samples were collected from the scene. About 4 months later, Johnson was on the Clarendon Police's most wanted list, was fatally shot during an alleged confrontation with members of a police party and a firearm reportedly taken from him. A ballistics hit has since confirmed that the firearm was used in the killing of Allen and Drackett. A statement was recorded from an eyewitness, and 9 photographs were shown to the witness, who identified Johnson as one of the 2 men who shot Allen and Drackett. The police say as a result of the ballistics hit and the statement recorded from the eyewitness, permission was given to clear up the double murder. Policeman charged with the 2012 murder in Montego Bay. A police constable has been charged with the 2012 murder of a man in Rose Heights, Montego Bay, St. James. Constable Warren Latchman was charged with the murder of Donald Chin following a ruling from the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. It was reported that a police team was executing a search warrant at a property belonging to Chin when he allegedly pointed a firearm at Constable Latchman and was fatally shot. The account given by the police was refuted by an eyewitness, and a file was prepared by the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom and submitted to the DPP. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.